Four. We're live, Mr. Chairman. I yield, sir.
Good night. Good night to our Belizeans, both at home and abroad.
Good night.
Again, welcome to our 435th edition of our Belizean Affairs show. And it's a pleasure to, again, once more sit in the company of Mr. Leonard Brackett.
Pleasure. Thank you,
And
Mr. Chairman.
we should be joined by our next senior panelist, Mr. Gregory Brackett, and our guest, Mr. Morrison, if he could make it in time to his location. And we always appreciate his presence. Um, as always, we try to to enlighten our Belizean people, what's really going on, and in the nation. Some public already, and we just highlight it and speak on how we feel about it, and we offer solutions. Um, we call the ills out, regardless. Again, we are not paid to do what we do. We are true patriots and we love our people and nation. And in the true sense of the word love, not just to mention the word love like others. Um, there's a lot, always, there's a lot going on. Every day it's a new saga. Everyday lives are being taken innocently, some purposely and some innocent, right? So um, we continue to see the recklessness of our leaders who's supposed to have the nation in order because that's what they are being paid for, to do the right thing um, for the people and nation. um, we see their behavior publicly. um, we see the things that they are not doing. We see and hear about what they are going to do, and in the end, nothing is being done. Um, we see their attitude publicly, display of arrogance, um, a no give a damn attitude, and then seems like they all forget who pays them, who feeds them.
Mm-hmm.
They forget that entirely when, as soon as the people give them that mandate, past and present government, we see their reckless behavior. We see their incompetency. We see their actions, their attitude to the very same people who gave them that job. But, like I say, a lot of people love the way they behave, and a lot of us hates the way they behave because they shouldn't and they should not behave in that manner. Um, as always, we start our program with a prayer followed by a reading. And I graciously ask Mr. Leonard Brackett to lead us in a prayer and then followed by a reading. Sir,
Yes, sir. Thank you,
thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman. I'll just go ahead and bow my head, sir. Divine loving Father, thou who art the creator of heaven and earth, and who is our creator as well, into thy hands we commend ourselves, asking that thou would continue to guide and protect and bless us, that thou would bless
Amen.
our people, our family members, and loved ones, wherever they are,
Amen.
as if they were each mentioned by name and number. We
Amen.
pray that thou must bless our country of Belize, its people and leadership. We also pray that thou must bless this country, its people and leadership, and that thou would bless our program, that whatever we have
Amen.
to say tonight may it be to thy honor and glory as well as our country of Belize, its people and our country.
Amen.
Please continue to abide with those who have need of food and clothes and shelter. Please provide for them. Pray that God may take care of those who are in war zones, many of whom are losing their lives and limbs, those who are in tornado areas and hurricane areas and all manner of disaster. We pray that God must be merciful unto them as well. For us, His mercies in Jesus' name. Amen.
And thank you,
Yeah.
Leonard. Can you do a reading for us tonight, please?
Yes, sir. I'll go to, let me see, I'll read from the book of John, St. John, let me see, chapter 3, starting at verses 3. Jesus answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Nicodemus said unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into the mother's womb and be born? Verse 5 goes on to say, Jesus answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven of God. And basically, what Jesus was referring to there was the baptismal of the Spirit, symbolized by the baptism in water. And I yield, Mr. Chairman, back without
Thank
any
you.
further comments.
Thank you for that reading, dear Leonard. Thank you for that prayer.
You're welcome, Mr. Chairman.
The country needs it. The nation, the world needs it. You know, there's too much ills, too much crime and violence around the world. Wars, rumors of wars, pestilence. So sad to see on a daily basis. You watch the news, it saddens your heart. You know, um, I want to take this opportunity again to our medium here, Belizean Affairs show, show number 435, to make a plea again to the nation of Belize that we are about to enter the hurricane season. June to November. One is already forming up, tropical storm, and we are not in June yet.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow is promised to no one. So let us not say, well, the last time, the hurricane just passed us just by a couple of few miles, and nothing happened. Please be mindful, because then you are all left alone. I won't say all, but most people are left alone in times of disaster based on the two-party system that governs this country. When the UDP is in power, they look out for their very own, and leave the rest of people that need the same help, or maybe more so, and they do not give it to them because they are not UDP. And the same with the People's United Party, and they are masters on that. There are some very vindictive people. I speak on experience, and I speak on what I know. I don't speak on what no one comes and tell me, because I take that with a grain of salt. But whatever I speak is because what I know and what I see. So my people, times of disaster, and we see what happened. Hurricane threats, especially the low-lying areas and people along the coast and the city. Where do they run to? Inland,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there is not one hurricane shelter, that neither of the UDP nor the People's United Party had built. Proper hurricane shelter is locking. And I see the grandson the other day. I'm just ranting this because real truth and things that actually happen. The hurricane hunters came to Belize and they had a little show of display and all that. And this minister and all them, they jump up and, oh yeah, a lot of nice things was said, but none of them mentioned that they had built a hurricane shelter. That was
Mhm.
pretty much the occasion why these people came down here, right? But like all is well, right? And they just showcase their faces and lie again in front of the media and kick the ball down the road. So my people, the ball is kicked down the road. So prepare yourself, please, right? Because I have seen some things happen to some people that storm had left them displaced, left them, took away everything pretty much under their lives. They didn't take, and the shirt and the pants on their backs
Mhm.
didn't take, right? And those people did not even get a nail or a piece of board, okay? And if you want more on that, you could do the research, right? So I'm saying is that these are the kind of treacherous people we have governing us. And don't forget the amount of money that is pumped into Nemo, the amount of money that's been donated from outside entities, namely the US, right? And in the end, where is the money? Where do they have what do they have to show for the money? Right? Where are the equipments, the supplies and everything that is given to the people for the people? Where do these items end up? That's some of us know, but again, I'm putting it out there. And if anything changed? Nothing. Nothing had have changed. You're in election mode again, and the UDP trying to, you know, push their way again in every which way, and they have done nothing better than the People's United Party. And this People's United Party, we see their actions. They are on a roll. They have the super majority, and who dares tell them anything? They know to buy the churches. They know to buy the unions. They know to buy anyone that speaks up against their ills. They have a way to get to them. Like I see a thing posted there, the man, Mr. Agas, the UDP past chairman or whatever, he's looking for employment with this government, right? I saw publicly something on the Facebook thing there, right? But don't take that as truth from me, right? It's just something that I saw, right? So so you see, most of them, what they're in it for, right? We see it publicly. So I'll say no more on that. I just want to remind the Belizean people the kind of leadership that they had paid for and continue to pay for. What do they get out of it? Again, I say, when UDP in power, certain amount of people get rich on the taxpayers' backs, on the people's back, and same thing with the People's United Party. No difference. When there is anything happen, they pass, when the UDP in power, they pass the PUP house and find the next house, which is the UDP, because that PUP house did not pay any tax, or they don't work, nothing. Same thing with the PUP. They pass the UDP house. They are very vindictive people, both of them. That's how I feel. Could take that any way you want to take that. So I say this to say that you can see, right, in the nation, those of us who watch the news, right, we could see that none have the will to want to fix anything. They don't want to make things better, right? They know the ills, they see it, but what they do, they wait till someone pick up again a gun and kill, murder who they want to murder, or they watch some piece of road go to nothing. They watch some bridges deteriorate. They watch garbage been dumped up and piled up. Although it shouldn't get to that point, but they just watch it, right? And then in the end, they go and they do a little cleanup and they pass some laws with some guns and they do little things. They go fix, put little band-aids on things, and the beat goes on. All they do, they kick the ball down a little bit, and then they grandstand in front of a media and say, "Oh yeah, we are fixing it, we are doing, and this is what," just for a picture to show that they are working, right? So these are the kinds of people, right? And then they leave power and nothing done. But money is gone. No accountability, right? Things that bother me, I watch that houses that they say they are building for the people. These little, must be 20 by 20. You could barely get in and come out. So I would like, that's only me, I would like for Mr. Julius Espat to say to the nation, bring out a bill of quantity and say how much these houses actually cost to build and how much does these poor people will have to pay back. And where does the money come from? Right? That's the three main thing I would like for him to itemize to the Belizean people and show them and tell them how many houses that this People's United Party had built and how much they had promised to build. Right? See, why I'm saying this is because, those poor people getting these houses and, they are in the impression that they are getting it for free based on what they are coming out with in the media and the news and all that. They are helping make lives better for the poor people. But in the end, don't think that anything is for free, right? But what I really want him to do is to come to the nation and say how much the taxpayers are building these houses for, right? And how much is the actual cost of these homes that they are building, right? And how much does the people have to pay back? That's just my observation on that, right? And stop the lies. Stop the lies because some people believe you guys, right? Some Belizean or other entities believe the lies that comes out of your mouth, past and present government, especially from this prime minister of this country of Belize. Nothing that comes out of that man mouth, Rudy Wade believes. Nothing at all, right? Some others may believe it or some of it, but I believe nothing, right? Brings it out, but I do not believe. And I have a right, because I'm a taxpayer. I pay taxes, right? And I'm a born Belizean, and I have the right, right? And I serve my country too, for those who think, oh no, I've served the country of Belize. I've served and served very well too, right? But Leonard, before I continue on my ranting, then Leonard, we get into some actually discussion. And you have anything to you want to give you 5 minutes to before then we have our discussion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Uh, my concern is that the government embarked on a wild goose chase under the pretext that they wanted to ask the public or the people of Belize if they were interested, if the people of Belize was interested in making major changes to their constitution. Of course, when the present government put themselves up for election, they did not put as part of their manifesto so the people could have read and know that their intention was to try and eviscerate the constitution or try to modify it to the point where they will be committing sedition, they will be violating our basic fundamental natural rights, and that they will be violating the separation of powers doctrine, as well as many other things that they're intending to violate in this proposal that they have. And they have intimated that they are planning to do that sometime this month. They'll go to the House because Cabinet has already reviewed the information that was submitted to the Prime Minister, and sometime this month they are planning to go to the House for the House to cast a vote on those matters. Now, the Constitution gives the government the authority under Section 69 to make, alter, and review laws, regulations, and management practices. And it tells them that they can make certain regulations or rules, or they can even modify parts of the Constitution if they can come up with a two-third majority, and in other cases, if they can come up with a three-quarter majority. But none of those numbers, either two-third or three-quarter, amounts to 100%. And the Constitution, under Section 2, says the Constitution is the supreme law of Belize, and if any other law, that is the laws that the legislator would want to make, is inconsistent or conflicts with the Constitution, to the extent of the inconsistencies or conflicts, those other laws are to be deemed as null and void. Why? They're anti-constitutional. They violate the Constitution. They are violative of the Constitution. The legislator is not empowered to make laws outside of the constitutional bounds for which the country's highest authority and legal constitutional merits are supposed to guide them. Whatever they want to make a law for within the bounds of the Constitution in order to assist them to further the governance of the country or to improve the governance of the country, they are welcome to do. But that is not the same as to say that they're welcome to make just about any law that they want to make, even to transgress the Constitution, because, as I said just now, Section 2 of the Constitution already preclude them from doing that. They have no authority vested in them to violate the Constitution, especially in certain aspects, where under Section 3 all the way through 19, the powers and authorities and the rights vested in the people are inviolable. And once any jackals or any scofflaw come to you and propose to you that they be allowed to go ahead and change your rights or derogate your rights, which the Constitution already tell them they're not supposed to do, and that you have the right to go and seek redress from the court if anybody is alleged to violate your right or intends to violate your rights, and if the government wants to have anything to do with those particular rights, that under the Representation of the People's Act, it stipulates that they shall have a referendum. They are not supposed to go ahead and just do what they want. They are trustees of our governance powers. They're not dictators. We're not living in a communist country. We're not living in a fascist country. We're not even in a basic republic as a country yet. The country of Belize have its laws, and the laws must be adhered to. Anybody that refuses to adhere to the laws of the country means that they disregards the powers, the maximum constitutional, legal, authoritative powers of the country. And if they're going to violate all rights, it means that um, the allegiance that they swore to the Constitution and the people of the country are then being violated as well. Which means then that when they swore allegiance to the country and its Constitution and its people, they were lying. And therefore, on that basis alone, they self-impeach they impeach themselves, and they are not worthy of making any law that transgress the Constitution of the country, especially if they're going to derogate from the people's rights, fundamental rights, basic civil rights, natural rights. They are forbidden from tampering with those things. They are also forbidden from breaking up the system that the country is governed under, which is the separation of powers authority, where you have three branches of government: the legislative branch, the judiciary branch, and the executive branch. The government cannot and should not attempt to violate any of those powers
Thank you.
to them. I yield back,
Thank
Mr.
you. Thank you. Well said. Well said. Because it's a repetitious cycle, Leonard. We see them violate our constitution over and over. Past and present government
Mm-hmm.
violate our constitution like it's just a piece of paper that worth nothing, right? That's to show the type of people that the people of Belize continue to elect over and over again. Um, where I see it, most of the people are part of the problem also because of how they do their elect their leaders.
They're slothful.
Exactly. They know exactly that, it's not right what they're doing, and still they help them along to continue the process.
Mr. Chairman, can I make a short
Yes,
statement?
sir. Yes,
Uh,
sir.
as regards to what I said just now, they are slothful in
Yes,
return
sir.
to what you was alleging that some of the people are to be blamed. Some of the people really do not understand the intricacies of how politics is done and to what extent the political behavior of all leaders, affects us on a day-to-day basis. But a lot of people are aware, and yet they exchange that their vote, which is their power, to these guys for a plate of food, a couple of beer, and a few dollars
Exactly.
here, there, and
So
and then they
true.
turn around and complain for the next 5 years. That's not good enough. They have to take ownership of their um you know the they trade their birthright for a plate of food, like what the
So true on that, Leonard.
Mr. Chairman.
So true on that, Leonard. And another thing that they need to take into consideration when they continue to do these things over and over, lives of other people are being affected, right? Not only they live good for a little 2 days or 3 days, but then, like you says, for 5 years, 10 years, God, they do the same thing over and over, and other people punish based on their ill actions, you know,
Yes, sir.
over and over. I could see you do it one time, or two time, but golly, man, the repetitious cycle, it's uncalled for, it's uncalled for, right? So in the end, it's sad to say sometimes, people deserves what they get, sad to say that word, but you know, when you look at it holistically, because they put themselves in that position, right, man?
Yes, sir.
They put themselves because they're the one that make that X for these people, vote for them and support them. So so sad though, real sad. I hope and pray that one day, the people will say enough is enough, and just do the right thing for change. As the way they are going, the people, a nation of Belize is going, they will never have change. The way they are going, the rate they are going, and their behavior in terms of electing their leaders for that day.
Yes, sir.
how they behave for that day. Because only one day, Leonard, they behave that way. One day, and it's all over again. It's history for the next 5 years or 3 years for the mayor or whatever. Keep doing the same thing. Well, Leonard, I'll rant on a little bit and then bear with me for a little 5 and 10 minutes. You know, then we will have a little discussion.
Yes, sir.
So where we at as a nation and where we're all living it. You know, some is profiting and living mighty and high
Mm-hmm.
on the hills when some are being punished, and all because of the way the two-party system have it set up, right? It's designed like our next senior panelist, Mr. Gregory Brackett, always says, Leonard, we're living in a
Designer system. Right?
designer system. Yes, sir. And when one would speak out on the ills and the corrupt system, they are looked at like they are the problem and they are being targeted, right?
Mm-hmm.
As we see, the poor and less fortunate is kept in the bottom of the barrel, especially in the lands department. Poor Belizeans are kept. That's one, not just one, I would say, when they put their application, they throw that in the barrel, but it goes all the way to the bottom, right? And the system that they elect to protect and serve them, right? What they do, they keep them poor and dependent. Again, come back to what Greg always says, Leonard, designers, designer system,
Mm-hmm.
keep them poor and dependent, right? We see when Belizean want to use our government agencies. I'm not saying the PUP government agency or the UDP. I say the people's government agency. That is for the people, for them to get service.
Mm-hmm.
And in most instances, a lot of them, Leonard, when it goes to these agencies, government agencies, they have to get a letter from their
You're right.
God, right? The area representative or how they call them, their caretaker or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's how they have it set up. Because if you don't take that letter to the other minister, they will not see you, or the other department, they will not see you. You got to get that blessing.
Recommendation, huh?
Yes, sir. That's how it's set up. I'm not talking nothing stupid that people don't know. Go to Mr. Um uh what's his name there? Go to Julius' office,
Uh-huh.
right? Just hypothetical. Just go to Julius' spot office whenever he has um his day for to see his constituents. Right? He will give you a letter and he wants you have a land problem. No, he will give you a letter. You go say, Mr. My colleague, Mr.
So hide.
Hyde, right? But you need that blessing from your God, not my God. But that's what happened in the nation of Belize, right? Should that be the way that these people operate? No, it should not. They are there to provide a service,
Mm-hmm.
right? But anyway, like
That's
I
what
said,
Mr. Chairman. That is exactly what they swear when they go and swear their allegiance to the
right,
public without fear or favor.
exactly,
But that's not what they
exactly.
do.
See, so I'm here advocating, Leonard, me as I always talk about issues that our poor people go through, right? A day-to-day living of the poor and less fortunate in the nation of Belize, right? Can't talk about Palestine, Lebanon, or Europe, or no. Talk about what goes on, the people, because I see it, right? But anyway, we see the heinous crimes that are being committed from gangs, drugs, all criminal activities, right? And some of it all in high places. I'm not going to call names, but I can call names. I can
Mm-hmm.
call names in high places, but I'm not going to do it right? Criminal activities comes from high places, right? And it's the norm, right? At the highest level. It's a big business, Leonard. Criminal activities in the nation of Belize is a big business from start to finish. From you get arrested till you end up in jail, whoever. It's a big business, right?
White collar,
Yes, sir.
blue collar,
And
green
who
collar, black collar,
exactly,
any
sir?
other colors
Yes,
under
sir.
the color of law.
And
Crime.
who pays for it? Who pays? That's a big question,
The Prime Minister said
right?
the Belizean people pay, Mr. Chairman.
Main item is drugs, drugs, money laundering. Number two.
Mm-hmm.
Big business in Belize. Big business. Don't like that? It's a matter for you, but that's what I say and how I see it, right? My people, right? Money laundering is a ill in the nation of Belize. Gangs, because what they do the bidding, they do the legwork for the big man there.
Mm-hmm.
The gangs, UDP gangs, the PUP gangs, I got two gangs in the nation of Belize. For who do not know it, my experience as a law enforcement officer and around this nation work, I see that there are two sectors, the UDP gangs and the PUP gangs. These guys do the bidding for their masters, right? And then their master keep them free out of jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a sad situation, but I'm talking truth now, right? Good, right? The people of this nation, right? They got to look back how it was in the 60s, in the 70s, and to the 80s, right? Watch the way of living, watch the attitude of the society, and watch that now. Watch that attitude now, 2026. And I'm talking from all the elected ones and the non-elected ones, them, right?
Mm-hmm.
You watch their attitude change by the minute, right? And what change is being made? Not change to make lives better for the poor and less fortunate. No, we see publicly the change that they make, right? We are seeing a country that is going down a path of destruction because of the leaders, past and present, has no love for the people and nation. They are involved with self-interest,
Mm-hmm.
power, greed, money, and corruption at the highest level, and uses the country's assets for their own agenda. Like, for instance, the people's asset, the lands department, natural resources,
Mm-hmm.
does not belongs to UDP, does not belongs to PUP. But what they do, see, they use it. It's a new form of electioneering for them, Leonard. They use the land what people need, no want what people need. So they use that. Some gets 50 by 100, and some is been given it like to four different people for that one piece of lot, that size lot. Four different, because that's four votes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because those, when they get that little receipt, they don't go and check to see if it's no, they think it's theirs and they trust the crooks that gave them that little receipt. Right? So when they go out and there, you find four people lined up to see that same lot. I see it happen. Right?
I know about that too, Mr. Chairman.
There you go, sir. Right?
Quite, quite a few instances I know of.
And sadly, Leonard and my people, none of them has been persecuted, right? And went to jail for the evil that they do, right? to our people, except for one pass, and this is public knowledge, so I have to say this because when I say none of them know, I'll say except for one past PUP minister, Mr. Briceño, the father of the now Prime Minister Johnny Briceño. He is the only minister, serving minister, People's United Party minister, was arrested in the 80s for drugs and other offenses. Persecuted, served his time, right? Except, and who caught him? Not the Belizean authority. For all you fifth columnists that comes to this country and don't know, no, I'm telling you, right? So that you should know, right? Because a lot of you don't know truth, right? So that's the only serving minister that had been arrested, charged, went to court, found guilty, and was sentenced, right? The father of this now Prime Minister, Johnny Briceño. And that is for public knowledge, I just throw that out for public knowledge. Who want to send a missile through the fiber optics, they can go ahead and do it, right? We are seeing the killings at an all-time high. We see domestic violence at an all-time high, perpetrated by the very same people who supposed to serve and protect us, namely the ministers. Some of them, none of them went to jail. UDP ones and the PUP ones, none of them went to jail. That covered up from the highest level down. And you see the police. We see brazenly police abusing their spouse, abusing child, physically. And what happened? And this is about the third time we are calling that out, right, Leonard? About the third time we are calling it out. That this individual, I think he's a Garbat, I'm not know, but he's a policeman. He needs to be arrested, charged, and held accountable for his action. No matter if the lady does not want any court, but he has dealt with a minor. Who protects the minor? Doesn't the state has a responsibility to protect that minor? And bring some charges on his mother too. That's how I see that. But then I say maybe that lady was threatened. The way that individual present himself, I put nothing past him. Maybe that lady was under duress while she was to say what she said. So all I'm saying is that 2026 domestic violence has seemed like it's like the same thing, when I say the names go on the bottom of the list, bottom of the barrel, no concern, right? Because look at what they did to an innocent woman, Miss Nora Parham. And a lot of you who care to do the research on that, right? Innocently, that lady was hung. And yet you have these criminals killing 2 and 3 times, revolving door in the court system, murdered, willful murder, and still out there on the street side or doing what they do, planning how to kill someone else, right? And I'm talking truth, right? So where are we at? What kind of society are we living in, right? We see this, the one-sided justice system that we have in Belize. We see how past and present governments set it up. Because they do their homework, They do a nice work on setting their judges and their magistrate and their police commissioner and their heads of department, their CEOs, they do a nice job of that. And they set them up to cover up their crimes and their ill wills, right? That's how past and present government do their governing system in the nation of Belize. And they expect to be exculpated, they expect to get away because they had set their people up as to, all the way in the court system,
Mm-hmm.
right? They had set them up, right? So that's how I see it, And I have a right to rant how I want to rant. That's how I see it, right? Because maybe a lot of you out there do not see it the way I see it. But I'm
Freedom,
ranting.
freedom of speech, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome,
We
sir.
see the laws that they make to punish the taxpayers, the poor, the less fortunate, the commuters, right? We see the things they do to these people, the poor and less fortunate, just because that they cannot afford legal representation. And we see what happens to you who goes to court that cannot afford legal representation. We see what happened. Those are the people that they set example on, like the one with a pack bread, corned beef, some little bad man, some cigarettes. Those are the people that example is being set, while the others, they could kill, they could run over people, they could knock down people involved in accidents, they could involve in a lot of money missing from their department and no investigation, no nothing, everything just because it's a design. They have people set up to to put everything under the rug and they walk free. But we see what happens to the one that cannot afford, right? So, we see the taxation on the public, right? We see that, how they tax the public. We see who gets our natural resources. We see a failing police department. We see our courts, how they operate, our justice system, how they operate,
Injustice system, sir.
the justice system. The healthcare system, we see what goes on there, our public health. Education, how they use it for politics, past and present. Free education and the best healthcare. And NHI, don't worry about that, you're covered, right? So these are the things, right? We see who gets what from our government, an easy government department. We see who gets it. Mostly the fifth columnist gets better treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Once you are not, the word not, born in Belize, but still a Belizean citizen, I'm just saying, right? But once you are not born in Belizean and in Belize, we see how those are being treated. But we see how the fifth columnist that comes, we see how the ones that are not born, we see how they have been, I call them fifth columnists. They come into the country and they read the nice sweets, everything that the born Belizean cannot get, right? That's what really happened in the nation of Belize, right? We see what they want and do with our constitution, right? We see how they are, slowly ripping away our constitution.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked, why are they afraid to fully enact UNCAC? That's only me asked that, right? Why are they, past and present government leaders of this nation, why are they afraid to fully enact UNCAC?
They're
Right?
afraid of accountability, Mr. Chairman.
There you go. And do redistricting that is past overdue. Redistricting of the nation of Belize. Because it's not equal, nor it's not near as equal. Far. Right? Should it be that way? No. The Constitution demands that they should make it equal or near as equal, Mr. Johnny Briceño, right? And the People's United Party government.
Section 90 of the Constitution, Mr. Chairman.
Well said there,
You
Leonard.
took, you took them to court and they still try, you know,
I'm a bad
the
person.
whole system.
I'm a bad person. I'm the villain here. My crowd is six of us. The Belize Peace Movement. We are bad people for doing that, Leonard. Very bad, right? We asked them, why can't you lower the price of fuel, Mr. Briceño? Price of basic goods, goods that people need, like ramen. What you doing? You're not taxing ramen, the very and only food source of food that parents can afford for their children. You are taxing that too. What kind of a human? I know an animal who has no would do it, but I said, what kind of a human would come up with that thought? When the mother could take out $1 and say, go buy a ramen, let me feed on. You can't do that no more, right? It hurts me to be talking about these things, these heinous crimes. To me, I call it a heinous crime that they commit on the poor people.
But Mr. Chairman,
Reality.
Mr. Chairman, they raise the tax for these goods that are basic commodities that people try to live off on a day-to-day basis who can't afford otherwise. But they don't raise the taxes on the people who they give these big time sub
Tax break.
break, you know. So they give those people the millionaires tax break, so the millionaires will give
For
them back
20 and 25 years. Mention that.
a few $1,000, their pocket, and then they go and look for the difference of the money, whether they give away to rich people, to the big corporations. Then they go and haul and
Yes,
put
sir.
the people where they try to live off on a couple dollars a day.
Yes, sir. And sadly,
That's evil.
we see a people who is still asleep and show no interest, right? No interest of the way they are living, right? And sadly, right, the ills, never ending. When will the people say enough is enough, right? When? So, you know, it's so sad, Leonard. And I hope that these guys, based on all these things that they're doing to the nation and the people, I hope that, they realize that there's a thing they call karma, right? So, you know, um, it's so sad, Leonard, and I, through our medium, my condolences to the two security officers that were shot this morning, shot dead when they get off work this morning at 6 a.m. Was shot dead on their way home, right? So remember that, we have been saying, that pretty soon people will start taking matters into their own hands, right?
Hmm.
So I say this to say that, to show that the kind of people that is out there, Leonard, and sometimes, they get the wrong people. I'm just saying, right? Sometimes innocent lives, been taken. So, and then they pass the real criminals, the real culprit, the real ones that they should really walk in their office or walk somewhere and do what they want to do to them, right? But sometimes, innocent people get killed, right? But the streets of Belize, as I speak, Leonard, is not safe anymore, right? So, and it contributes to a lot of things. No job, Leonard,
Hmm.
joblessness, crime and violence, drugs, the gangs, right? It's a big business, and it's not getting checked, right? It's just The attitude is just increasing, right? So one have to be very mindful in walking out of their gate and where they are going, right? Be very You cannot do that free will anymore because anything can happen based on the lawlessness that is out there. And when the system is failing to protect its citizens. Seems that they are in a different business. They are not. They're sworn an oath, Leonard, to serve and protect the people. But in reality, the way I see it, they are in a different business, right? I might be wrong, but that's how I see it. Leonard, I what I would like to see too, Leonard, in our nation is that you know the homelessness and the, the people out there that how we used to call all the crazy house people them, the people that suffer from mental illness that is out there, and it's only increasing around the nation of Belize, Leonard. I just hope that one day that some good leader will come that has the will to want to help these people, right? And show some love to these people because sometimes the homelessness is not caused just like that. It's because of the system, because of the way it's been designed, right? And I know that the system can help these people, Leonard, but they're failing. As for the mentally challenged people out there, there is no end to that saga. We see how they are being abused, murdered, maimed, killed, treated like, I would say, worse than the way someone would treat a dog, an animal, right? Some of these people are treated that way, Leonard, and it's so sad. Um, but the priority of the past and present government is not about, taking care of the nation and taking care of its people, right? They have a different attitude. Um, and then, like I say, when things happen, they hurry and go and do a little band-aid and go to that house and they console or they pat the people in their back and we are sorry and this and that um, and it brings me to mind like the other day I saw Dolores Baleramos Garcia stand up in the house and say, it was a sad thing that was done to Miss Nora Parham umpteen centuries ago, but just because now something had happened and had highlighted and think, they finally says, it was sad and wrong what was done. They finally, right? They finally said something. Again, I say a little too late, right? And a lot of them do that, Leonard, just to grandstand, like, oh yeah, look at her, yeah, she has a heart. Come on, why didn't they said something when that petition went to George Price back in the 60s at one of my family house in 17 miles away from PG Town when they were doing that campaign, right? A petition went to him, he and Mr. Rogers and like 5 of them, was campaigning, and this petition went and they met like a block away from where I was born, right? I was a kid then. I was told that by somebody that was there, a family member that was there. That petition went when she was in jail and they already passed a verdict that she was supposed to be hanged. But there was a petition out that if that petition would have signed by George Price and took to the governor, that lady would have set free. You know what that man said to that person that took that petition? The families that took that petition for him to sign, judgment had already passed. That's what that may he rest in peace and his bones, be safe, right? He and his entourage, they had refused to sign that petition.
Well,
And
Mr.
after that,
Chairman, on
I
that
know
point,
what I'm talking, Leonard. I
on,
know exactly what I'm talking, and I see that man as a saint. That's an evil man,
uh,
evil to the core, right?
he said that judgment had already been passed.
That's what he told
Did he not
my family members that took that petition.
did he not understood then at that time that it was within his power to submit that request that was being made to the attention of the governor at that time, when in fact the governor at that time had the power of commuting
Exactly.
sentences, even a
Exactly.
death sentence on to himself.
And
He,
that's
he knew.
for public knowledge and for the fifth columnists that see this man as a god, and for the People's United Party crowd who see that man as a god, right? Others see him differently. Others, including myself. Okay, although I served my country under his watch, I didn't serve there. I served my country and people. I've never served no politics or no minister or no leader. And I could say that as a fact for the record. So, Leonard, you see, we here, we know a lot of things. We have seen a lot of things. And we talk about things, that had been done to our people. And we talk whether we like it or doesn't like it. And we talk about how things could do differently and why things aren't different. Why it's always the same old, right?
Mhm.
And while you have people out there, suffering, right? And like our senior panelist says, Belize and Belizeans, we are living in a designer state, a designer system. It's already designed out, right? I don't know how come we haven't become what I think it was 23rd state
District
of Guatemala. I don't know how that didn't happen. Because that very same man that I talk about was pushing that Judge K. the Price,
is still being pushed up to today date,
right?
sir.
For all you who do not know, and you could sue me if you want to do that too, or arrest me if you want to do that, right? Don't give a hoot. What I'm saying is that I'm putting out there because it's truth, right? So that's how I feel, and that's how I feel about the two-party system, Leonard, right? So we want to have a little discussion on the bus hike, Leonard. We still, because it's affecting the pockets of the regular workers that gets that little $40 a day, that commutes Monday to Friday, some Monday to Saturday, some, but regular is Monday to Friday, right? And it has been implemented on Monday, right? That hike, right? So let's talk about that again because we need to keep the fire burning, just like how we did with the $300 on that motorcycle club and motorcycle fine that they were supposed to go on, these users of the motorcycle to go and pay to learn how to ride a motorcycle, right? So, but anyway, when they were saying that they were the one causing these accidents, that comes from the leader's mouth, that comes from their mouth, right? And we lobby for that, and we talk about it, and they withdrew it. I won't say we were the only one that pressured it, but we talk about it because we see that it's a total injustice, right? Total injustice. So the same way we are seeing it, at least I know you are too. I am seeing it as a total injustice for the common people, like how Mr. Chanona called them, the common people, Mr. Chanona, right?
Yeah.
So I say this to say that do the poor people deserve that, right? Couldn't there be a better way? Well, then you raise that. Well, why not raise the minimum wage then again? You think because when you did that $1.70, inflation went up 300% when you did that the last time, right? So now you're raising $1 more on long runs and 50 cents on short runs. How you guys came up with that cloud in your mind? How you came up with that magic number? Only you guys know. You are cabinet people. You're cabinet gods, right? That's what you sit on and you think about how you could stick it to the poor people. That is exactly what you all do. Mr. Zabani, shame on you. Shame on you, you and your CEO that orchestrated, right? Along with Brisenio, right? How can you do that to poor people? Did you do your math to see what, at the end of the day, what you all are taking away from $5 an hour, $40 a day, and people commute
Mr. Chairman,
for.
on that point, do you have available to you the article where I write? Can you just read it out for people to see exactly what is it that you're talking about in terms of how the numbers are running? If
In
you
the
have that
meantime, go
available,
ahead. Yeah,
it's
in the
not-
meantime, go
yes.
ahead. Let me find.
Well, I never want to change the point.
No, but I don't have it. But all I know, I don't have it readily. But
Oh,
all I know, Leonard, is it's $1 on long runs. Long runs means say from Corozal to Belize City, or Corozal to Orange Walk. Those are considered long runs, and the short runs are supposedly considered the village runs. Like for instance, from Belize City to Ladyville, Belize City to Sand Hill, Belize City to Brisbane. These are considered short. Right? Belize City to Hattieville, considered PG to maybe one of those dump or maybe Rancho or one of these short runs. They have been taxed $1.
So
I mean, 50 cents.
So
more.
if somebody is working as a laborer and getting minimum wage at $5,
we could do a little math right now.
That's what I was about to do. That's what I was about to do quickly. If somebody is working at minimum wage as a laborer, $5 an hour, 8 hours a day, that's a $40 per day.
40.
And you multiply that times $5, $400. No. 40 times 5. That's 100, 200, 220, right? Is that it? What's the number?
$5 an hour and 8 hours a day is $40.
Yeah.
And then you and then you
So that's 200. It's 200, sir.
Yes, sir.
For the week. Now,
Yes,
out
sir.
of that 200 for the week, if you start off, let's say somebody living in Orange Rock, let's use one of the close areas, right? And you're paying $5 from Orange Rock to Belize, plus now you add another dollar, that would be $6, right? So every day,
Yeah.
going and coming, $6 two times, that would
So
be
commuters, Leonard, let's say from Belize City who work Monday to Friday from Corozal to just a quick synopsis, right? From Corozal to Belize City who works Monday to Friday, right? On a regular bus, it's $16 times 2, right? That's back and forth, right?
$32.
That's $32, right?
For $40 a day. That means
Yeah, exactly, right?
you only earn $8 for the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What?
So do the math.
So
on an express bus, Leonard, it's $17 now times 2, right?
$32.
Okay.
Means they only make $6 for work for the whole day.
When the minimum wage is $5 an hour, that's $40. So you do $40 times
minus
5 is $200, right? $200 times 4 is $800, right? So you look at $160 you got to pay that comes out of that, right? Out of your salary. I mean, out of your earnings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And out of that $40, you 32 already goes on just transportation. So what left you with?
$8, sir.
$8. But then you don't have your tacos yet.
Uh-huh.
Right?
And you know, feed your family,
You not feed your family, you not pay your water bill, you not pay your light bill, you not pay your house rent yet.
all of which are going up.
Wow.
And these guys, anyway,
Wow.
man,
So that's reality, right, Leonard? That's reality, right? Right?
mm.
So you see it, right?
And the price of fuel going to go up again, you know, Mr. Chairman. As soon as you get the next shipment, it's going up again. And you keep going up at least for the next 2, 3 months until this issue get resolved. If it get resolved that quick.
And then the good is, Leonard, the good is that they gave the independent bus owners, the other bus owners wanted to, the national transportation people, although then they get one different up on a different page, they still want it too, and they still get it.
And then they get extra government
Right?
help because the government won't part of their business.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So the people are getting extracted, you know, like money to come out of the people hide, whether they have it or not. And our government is acting like an extracting
Yes.
organization or company.
Yes.
Like what the foreign companies then do, they come into the country and extract the wealth of the country and pay no taxes or nothing. And that are the same objective what the
So,
government have, just to extract whatever they could out of the population. And
so
then
in
they
reality, Leonard,
people blood.
so in reality, where is the love that they say they have for the Belizean people and poor and less fortunate? Where is that? And now to top it off, now you hear the mayors now, the mayors, the
They want
so-called, they want their pension too. They're they're probably gonna protest pretty soon.
in
These
Belize,
mayors,
in Belize
they want their
they raise the
yeah.
tax, the land tax and the house tax them in Belize. At least I think it was like somewhere between. Uh, well, that I'm aware of. I could talk where I know about, so make a talk about that part. The land tax in Belize get raised. I think it was 50 something %. Okay, because they want double for their salary, so they squeeze more money out of the society. And then now they want to talk about retirement gig after that too. They serve
What's wrong with these
3 terms
guys?
or four terms. Yeah.
They're
So
not there sitting in that bench, Leonard, trying to lobby how to raise the minimum wage
or basically,
and help the street cleaners, the drain cleaners, and the garbage cleaners, and all them pick up. No, you see where their damn interest at, right?
and they're
You
giving
see where their interest at,
they're giving special then giving
right?
special contract, long term contracts that's going to go far beyond for their term in office.
And for the record out there, nobody is demanding any accountability on revenues, that they collect.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody want to see their books. No, these crooks could cook up anything, Leonard, and they cook up anything. Some of them have two receipts book. Some of them carry two receipts book. Want to show so much and want to show so much, right? Nobody is questioning these mayors. They are demanding accountability and audit.
And they do favors to friends and then collect only something on the
Yeah.
backside.
They're already getting perks and paid handsomely for doing what? For doing what? What does these people do? Pick up a little shovel and a little dirt now and then for to show that they're on the street, just and then have the news behind them, right? That's all I see them do. But anyway, then this is what's really going on, you know, and the ills of the nation of the Belize and the way our leaders are behaving, right? And again, I asked Leonard, who are the one that ends up suffering? Anyway, I give you 5 minutes, Leonard. So, no, I give you seven. I give you 7 minutes because we're nearly to
Okay.
speak on.
I'll check five. I'll work on the five right now, and if any left afterwards, and use the other one
Yes, sir.
when we're close to closing. No, because
It's about, yeah, we only have 15 left.
yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Um, in regards to the raise of salary for the mayors and the pension for the mayors, the pension is going to be a lifelong thing, which means that for every new mayor from now into the future, extra money will have to be set aside for financing a pension for them. If we think that it's bad right now, it can get worse. It's going to get worse. And they're going to keep raising the prices and raising the prices. And then there are some elderly folks who live in their houses. The houses are falling down on them because they can't repair it. They're not gainfully employed. Nobody's assisting them. They're not getting any pension from the government or for any place where they've been working before when they were younger. So now there comes the city hall people in demanding the outstanding taxes, and if the people can't come up with it, then dispossess the people of their only property or only assets that they have and sell it to themselves for less than what it's valued. And then they cash in the difference. And it's a well-oiled machine because they go around the whole city doing that same kind of scam. When in fact they should be helping some of these elder folks who have contributed to our society in their youth or in their early ages when they were gainfully employed and supporting the society as a whole. They should be looking out for their interests. But no, they want to take away these people's property from them because they're not gainfully employed. They don't have the money to meet the current obligations. So that means that they should be dispossessed. And like I said, when they dispossess these people, and they do it legally, according to them, they go to the courts, have the court issue an order to say that these people are in delinquency. And I can tell you that some of these people, I have dealt with some of those cases before, right? And some of these people don't owe the money that they're claiming from the people. They just want to put the people in a bind where the people have to get to a lawyer to go advocate for them. And then they don't have the money to pay the lawyer. So the lawyer end up holding on to their property documents. So any which way, they put the people in liability situation where the people end up losing what they thought they would have to pass on to their future generations or to their family or whatever. These jackals, they go and they swipe from under them. And it's not by accident or omission or oversight. It's a deliberate, like I said, well-oiled machine. You have some of them, they have real estate agents who work along with them. And then they put up these people's property for sale. And they accept, let's say a property is worth maybe $50,000. They dispossess these people for that property because the people owe maybe on 2,000 or 3,000 or maybe 5,000. And they dispossess them. And when they sell their property, they don't give back the people the extras above what they need to collect for the outstanding taxes. They sell the property to one of themselves or their friends or to real estate people that are, in the pipeline for less than what it's worth. And when they turn around and sell it, they keep the difference. That's stealing. That's embezzlement. Under the color of law. But according to them, it's legal. That's why I was going to say some things, but let me leave that alone. I'll yield back for right now, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Leonard. That's well said. I think that instead of these people should be advocating and that should come out of their mouth, right? They should say, I think
And,
we're
Mr. Chairman, both parties does it. This is one of the, I don't like to talk about both parties do, but in this case, both parties does this particular, because I know about this particular issue because I've dealt with a lot of people that were under these scenarios.
what happened, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. you know, I think that they should be saying, hey, we will give back a little because we are getting too much and all the perks we're getting, right,
Mm-hmm.
for doing nothing, but look what they're ludicrous they could be thinking, idea that they could come up with, right? And as for past and present ministers, we come in the public service for like only 5 years and only one term, two term, and these guys, I think those pension that has been given to these ministers should be struck off, right? And you have poor people out there, regular workers, Leonard. If you don't meet certain criteria with Social Security, you don't get nothing. If you don't pay so much dues, you don't get nothing
But
with Social Security.
But Mr.
right?
Chairman, you
So
could
is
pair
this
you could
something
pair
that they
your
are looking? Is this something that this mayor? I'm just saying, is this something that this mayor has foreseen that? Yeah, damn, we only come in here for 3 years, man, and and thing, and we don't get nothing when we because look, for social security, you have to have so much contribution. We don't got that. So let us pull together, and since we're the mayor and thing, let us come with a God and with the high people, right? No worry about the leave one then where we don't have so much credit where they work hard all their life and don't have so much credit. We can't get nothing from social security. We don't have to worry about that. Because if we try to not talk about this, we don't get nothing either because we don't have that credit in social security. So we will get zero, we'll get zip. So let's advocate for a pension plan. So we could stay in the loop like the criminals them, the other ones them, right? That come and serve and 5 years and ride off in the sunset with with a nice pension package, right? Past and present government, right?
Mr.
So
Chairman,
damn sad.
Mr. Chairman, I do not know of any political individual who went into politics in Belize with nothing in their pocket and were successful enough to win at least one term that did not become a millionaire. And if they win two terms, they become multi-millionaire. And if they win three terms, they become multi-millionaire. Okay? That's the track record. That's what we have as a history in our country. That's why they don't want to give up the politics. Mr. Bichen, you've been around for 30 years already. There are others who have been around longer. Are you back? So,
So
close.
sad, Leonard. We have 10 more minutes,
Yes, sir.
9 more minutes. Go ahead, Leonard. Go ahead.
So, thank you. Most of
Take 4 minutes, Leonard.
most of the ministers, they have resources coming from multiple sources. They all get a salary as as,
Everything free.
as elected officials. As a member of parliament, they get a salary as parliamentarian, and those who are in government cabinet circles, they get an extra stipend or extra money for that particular position in cabinet. Then they all get benefits and extra side deals. They,
Not to
they
mention the constituency funds. Not to
yes,
mention that.
well, they get the constituency funds which should go to the constituency, but some of them participate in that too. Some of them use it for their own personal. They're supposed to get money for their office, you know, and it's all about how to hustle. I call it, like I said, the big hustle.
Because
The more these guys could hustle, the more time they spent on the hustle instead of doing the job that they were hired to do. Otherwise, if they were doing the job that they were hired to do, there would be more money for them to steal because the pie would grow and get bigger and better. But they don't worry about how big to make the pie so that when they steal a little bit here and a little bit there, it doesn't look too bad. So long as they're in the position, they're going to dip their hand in the cookie jar and do what they have to do. And they do it barefacedly too, because like Mr. Boots, for example, came to the public on the airwaves and telling he did what he did and there's nothing anybody could do about it. So what? He's leaving politics, so he's willing to confess all his evil deeds. Only to what 2 years after come back and say, well, he wants to run in a different division again. I mean, the audacity of these people. Are you up, Mr. Chairman?
thank you, Leonard. And
You're welcome, sir.
no, like I say, we speak about real issues that goes on in the nation, right? We speak about the hard times that the regular Belizean is going through. The common people, like the words from Mr. Chanona.
Hmm.
We speak about the common people. We speak about things that they are going through, the ills that's plaguing our nation, right? There's a lot of crime and violence in these days, in the nation of Belize, that one would have never had said that would have happened in the nation of Belize, the
Mm-hmm.
way things are happening, and it's growing, and it's been happening so fast. All kinds of evil, all kinds of, all kinds of, like you always, all manner of pestilence,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is taking place in the nation of Belize. The little
So,
Belize that we know, that we were born,
yes, sir.
right? It's so sad to see, and it's so sad to see that the people who should be there to serve and protect us, we see how their attitude, towards the people, the very same people that pays them,
There,
you
there,
know.
there are some of the gross offenders, like you always say, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, exactly, right. And it's all public knowledge, Leonard. It's all public knowledge. So, all I can say, I pray that, the Almighty touch them, touch their hearts, and let them turn from their wicked ways, and do the right thing, do the things that they should, that they are being paid to do,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I think we will have a better nation, and a better people. Um, you know, what I see, Leonard, is that our younger generation, will suffer, right? Some of them, hasn't born yet, but before they are born, they're already old, right? They already, owe some amount of money. They're
Mm-hmm.
not even here yet, right? But that's how I see that, right? Based on the
But
the,
you're
the
correct, Mr.
climate.
Chairman. You're correct because the same super bond that we renegotiated the other day, the younger
You see,
generation will have to finish pay it off because
you
these
see,
jackals are not paying it off. What they are
you
doing is
see,
adding on to it,
you
which
see.
is now over $2 billion.
Yeah.
Okay, and going.
So yeah, so my people, all my fight, and on our me and Leonard and Greg, we advocate for the poor and less fortunate. Um, we talk about the ills, right, and how things, could be done better, right, and hopefully that, it gets in the ears of these leaders, right, and say, man, there are some people, really not happy with what we had said or what we did, or how we are treating the Belizean people, or the laws that we had passed, right? Some of, and a lot of Belizean are talking about it. They don't like it. I hope that they turn from their wicked ways and pay some attention, right, to the people, and do right by people, right? Because, Leonard, to be honest with you, these people are self-serving, self-serving. They're not, they are not doing right by the people and the nation. They are not doing right, right?
Mhm.
So, people are punishing, a lot of poverty in the nation of Belize, a lot of poverty. There are children, families, the poor and or elderly going to bed without having something in their stomach, right?
And it's gonna
Some
get
of them,
worse.
as I speak, their water has been shut off, their current,
Mm-hmm.
their electricity has been turned off,
Sad.
right? So sad. They can't get to and fro, to worse now, to the doctor, right? It's so sad. I wonder sometimes, does these people put, these things into consideration on the table when they're, passing these laws, and saying they're doing right by the people? Do they put the, do they have that mental, you know, capacity to say, well, man, this is not right. Let's turn a different way, because turning this way is hurting people. Come on, man. Go ahead, Leonard.
Uh,
1 minute for the closing too, Leonard.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. I'll close with this
Close
thought.
that, please.
With the malignant governance practices that we have currently, all they're doing is impoverishing the society or the community more. They're not elevating the society. They're not doing anything that accrues positively to the betterment or further development or enhancement of the society. Why does it have to be like that? Or why should it have to be like that? As if they are incapable of better. All they have to do is improve what they're doing by 1%. 1%, Mr. Wade. And that would make a difference to a lot of people. They don't have to improve 5% or improve 10% or 50% or 100%. 1% or measly 1% improvement would enhance the prospects of some of our people that are at the lowest end of the society. Are you telling me that they cannot afford to improve 1% or to stop some of the malignant practices so that the society can at least catch a breath of fresh air? Why is it that they have to behave as extractors? And when they extract what they extract, they're not putting it where it belongs or should go. They're mismanaging and creating all kind of mayhem.
And Leonard, one thing I want to say quickly, Leonard, the working class right now will have to look out for an increase on their social security contribution. So out of
And
that $40, you would have to put another increase to your social security contribution, and it's coming if it's not already here. Sorry about that, Leonard, for that
that's
closing.
right, sir. That's the truth. That's the truth, Mr. Chairman. Whether we like it or not, that's how these people operate. And we can see it from a distance coming. So that when it comes and it takes effect, we can say, we told you so. Because we keep telling them so, and these guys keep doing the very same thing we're telling them ahead of time that we see them attempting to do. They go ahead and do it, I think, just to prove us right. Because they know that there's no consequence to their dastardly conduct. And I wish
True on
we
that.
had UNCAC in place.
True on
But they're
that.
making all these other laws, but they refuse to put the laws that we are asking them to put in place to guarantee that they are put in check. They don't want
Thank
to put
you.
themselves in check. Are
Thank
you back,
you.
Chairman?
Thank you, Leonard. On that note, I want to say thank you, Leonard, for being here and
You're welcome.
brace our show tonight. Thank you for
Thanks for
always being steadfast and an advocate for your birth country and your nation, and not afraid to speak truth to power, and not afraid to call out the ills and how you see it, and offer solutions. Right. So, want to thank you. It's a pleasure sitting in your company.
pleasure
Um,
to Mr. Chairman.
may God bless Belize, and thanks to all those who view us, Leonard, and support us, and will watch us later. And for those who share our program and educate the masses out there, and my heart again goes out to the missing people, Leonard. We have a lot of missing people for their families. I feel for them. I hope that their loved ones return home safely. You know, um, it's so sad to see the tragedies. My condolences again to the family in the west here that two security guards off from duty got killed, shot up over 16, 17 expended shells. Why would they do something like that? And who did it? That's and my sympathy and condolences to the family, Leonard.
I share your expression of sympathy and condolence to those families, Mr. Chairman, as well. But I'm going to say this. I don't care who gave it. I got to just get it off my chest. It's bothering me. We have a major problem in the country, not only because we have had our own intra-gang fighting and activities going on, and that we have a lot of people that's come to the country with other behavior patterns that we are not accustomed to, but the fact that our government is accepting people with high criminal uh, behavior pattern. into our country, and the guys repatriation of some of these people who they call migrants. The law of our country is supposed to apply to them as well. But no, it doesn't, because they get preferential treatment and they get preferential assistance from the Migration Commission.
Truth on that.
Come to the country with their own behavior pattern, but our laws can't keep them in check because they come with a different perspective of life and a different behavior pattern. And
True on that.
they create mayhem among our docile people.
True on that.
I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank
And
you. Again, I want to say good night. Thanks for those who view us and will view us a little later and continue to support us in sharing. Not in coins because we don't get any contribution in terms of coins, right, Leonard? They don't pay us to to do what we do in terms of speaking truth to power and calling out the ills and be a voice for the poor and less fortunate, and for those who are afraid to be heard or seen. We are their voice, Leonard. So
so,
thank you for steadfastness, and may God bless you. Continue to give you good health.
thanks again for a wonderful program, Mr.
Thank
Chairman.
you.
435th
Thank
program.
you.
This is a
Thank
major
you.
milestone,
Thank
and
you.
to have had the privilege to sit with you through the whole series.
Thank
Uh,
you, Leonard. Thank you.
God bless
God
Belizean.
bless my brother, and say good night, Leonard.
Good night, sir. We're gone until Friday.